Hi, good evening. It is rather late here. Um, but I was having problems with my computer. As I wanted to sit down and make a video, I discovered my camera wasn't working, so I was fixing that. And I'm honestly not in the mood of making videos or talking or uh, doing pretty much anything because I moved. I'm in a new place, my place, and I'm in renovations, and it's it's taking a lot of my energy, and not very much high up there in receiving information, and I'm not in the right state of mind or right energy. And as I made my last video in Serbian, I didn't really have a topic because mm, I was pretty much in the same mood, and I'm a little bit indisposed, and I'm a little bit discouraged and disappointed. I'm not a little bit disappointed, I'm very much disappointed. And this is what I was talking about in my previous video. It turned out to be um, very random, and then I sort of took over and had a light language transmission that was not planned, and it was basically not me. So I don't know what's going to happen now, because I mean I cannot repeat that even if I wanted to. But yeah, it's a kind of an amazing day tomorrow. Everybody's talking about it, kind of a new era, and I'm really hoping it really is this time around, because everything that I was talking about last time is a part of the old cycle. Um, Part of what many of us are being confronted with and disappointed with. And I know I don't look very good, but I look much worse last time, because I was under a very dark stream. It was when I say a dark stream, I see codes, I see symbols that are dark, that are black, and they kind of some are meant to block you, some are meant to bring down your energy and disconnect you with your guidance and higher self and change your events and circumstances, and some are meant to um, do the energy transfer somewhere else. And yeah, when I say things like this, people don't like it. They think I'm uh, imagining things, they am lying, or, and on the other hand, I'm so disappointed in pretty much everything, and especially in the wider spiritual community, which is not even a community, it's like a business venture. I've had some, I mean, I didn't feel like working, partly because of I mean, in other kind of kind of things now, but because I have been very heavily attacked, and I have discovered the other nature of this reality, and I have been I've had very, I mean, I've had difficult sessions before, but I've had a session that something was sent to me through that session, and I knew it. I knew that's going to happen. And I decided I'm still going to do this session because it's about showing the meaning of everything, which is love. And I was supposed to show love to this person, and I decided I'm going to show love and send love to 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 the ones who are doing that, which was enough to keep us both safe throughout the session, but I had something attached to me, which has never happened to me since I'm doing this, and because it was never sent deliberately before, and I had to do some work on it to clear it up. And I usually do a lot of work on myself anyways, but I've had help and other people have sensed it too. So I don't buy that shit that this is not happening. When I started all this, people were telling me that this is not happening, and this is something that you don't encounter, something that's not real, something that's a lie, that people lie, that it's all the figment of your imagination. And it's not. And I'm dealing, not only that I was dealing with things that I was telling you through sessions with people who have experienced it, or with other therapists, but I mean, I've had attacks from real living people, not so and they became real living people when they were trying to knock at my door. So I am really not in the mood of giving, because a lot has been taken away from me without my permission anyway, so I'm not in a giving mode. I'm a giving person anyway, so I would give. Even nobody has to steal anything from me. You just have to ask what you need. And I do get easily discouraged with some things, but this is like where I discovered energy transmissions, transfers, not transmissions, energy transfer. So basically this means that your energy goes somewhere else, so that somebody who doesn't even have these talents can use your energy and act as if they do. Basically that's done through dark magic rituals, and it's very high magic actually. And when you come to a certain level, I didn't even know what I was saying at some point to certain people, because I was seeing things. I see things a lot in my dreams, as I have mentioned here before. But then a ritual has been done that I witnessed, because they wake me up when the ritual happens, and they throw something on me, so I do get to observe what they're doing. And they took something from here, so I couldn't see at some point. But that has been restored. And actually I have discovered that I always know that there are many ways of seeing, but you don't only see with your pineal gland, you see with your whole being. It's like you see with your whole energy. It's like this is just a projector, but you are the camera. You are you on a certain level, you are the all-seeing eye. And in spite of that, I was able to discover some things again. And this has been very discouraging, because the more you do, the more you work, the more you gather your energy, the more you take it on. It, I don't know. And it doesn't really have to do with past lives yet, because most of these, and I've checked, I don't have any karma with them. They just see you. And they want the energy because they want to go to the next level of where they need to go, and they don't have the energy. So they're not doing this only to me. It just happens that I see it. But things are really deliberate. Also, it can get pretty nasty like this when you have clones, as I already spoke about, especially when you have clones on earthly plane. And I know a couple of you that do have them, and um, they're all spiritual teachers. The other ones that I know, and don't even ask me how I discovered that. I would gladly name somebody here to tell this person that he has a clone, and some things are happening because of that. I don't know myself how to deal with that yet because I haven't discovered it. They're not doing good things. So people might think that that's you, but it's not you. The thing is that they I already mentioned this. They can't run without your energy. So they constantly have to take your energy. So this is what happens through these rituals. Not only not only the beings, but the clones, because they use them as I'm not talking about astral beings. I'm talking about actual physical beings, because they use them for their own purposes, and they can do pretty darn things. They don't have any emanation. This is how you will recognize them, and sometimes they can even you can even think as if they're robots. They're not. They do have artificial intelligence in them, but they're not robots, and they're not hybrids. Hybrid children are something else, and I haven't even gone there yet. I'm even considering whether I want to open this Pandora's box. I'm really not ready for something like that yet, because that entails a lot. And yeah, but the thing is that I'm been placed here to be used by certain I don't know how to even call them, because to me, although most of them are human, but in some of them are fully not present anymore, like they're not there anymore, and some of them are partially present because something else is attached to them, so I don't even know how to call them. And usually that happens because they made a deal, and things like this happen like to some people because they want you, either they want you on their side, so they create a little hell for you so that you have to um, accept what they're offering to you. Or either you have been like me, that's my issue. I have had lifetimes of being sacrificed to certain beings. At some point, I was willingly sacrificed. I gave up on my powers, my energy, my life to protect somebody or a group of people or the entire population. And this binds you because they believe they own you. Also, they can buy it off from like a third party, even if you don't have anything to do with them. They consider it an agreement, and they like it's they I've spoken about it, and people really think that I don't this, it's not real, it's not happening. But I've known many people. I've had several clients, and I've worked with quite a few clients with ritual abuse, with similar experiences. And some of us, and especially those who are in spiritual field, don't even know when they are in contract, and especially when they're in a contract for secret space program, because they think they're working with the Galactic Federation of Light, which is something different. However, the narratives and everything that is being presented to us, it's been kind of disappointing, because there is no discernment. You have to find your inner truth, your middle ground, and stand firm on it, because even the narrative that we all want to support uh, can be a spin. And there have been a lot of spins around going on, because they use spiritual platforms and spiritual teachers as psyops. When I say psyop, that means like psychological agent, because they're placing the information into you, and basically they're promoting the same narrative, just in a different way. Some of them don't even know it, and some do. So I have been basically discovering that, and I haven't seen much real faith in spiritual community. And I have worked with people abroad and from here, and I haven't seen much sacredness. All too many things. This is why I mentioned the information and the narratives going around, because it all seems too profane. It's too much connecting you to the certain belief system, to the belief system that somebody else wants you to connect to. I mean, that's fine. Any of us can support and promote whomever they want. That's a personal choice, and I won't go into that. I honestly don't care. But I'm here to not only promote what I do, but to promote the spirit world and what happens, to promote the soul, what happens there. And all that doesn't really matter there. And you would say that we in the spiritual community know this. That we in the spiritual community know that we're not really bounded by soul, is not really bounded by planets. Yeah, we're influenced by it. But like in the beginning of time, were there any planets? And the most auspicious alignments and anything, of this. And it's all like, I have also been mentioning that, connecting us to certain streams, ancient streams that are already placed there. So in wording all this, these spins, it's also a form of magic, because it's you're wording it. You're using your voice and you're using the words. Like you're placing the incantations. So why not promote all that is good and all that is light? Why not promote? I mean, yeah, I'm talking about things that are happening to me. So in a way, I'm not promoting it myself either. But as somebody who felt called to do something like this, I feel I ought to. Because if nobody told you, how would you know? Nobody told me. Everybody told me that that's not happening, and I did not invite it. I was as naive as anyone, even more. We have a saying, I'm naive as a squirrel. So I was a squirrel, like I was a sitting duck for them. And this is why I share it, because when you shed a light on it, it stops having grip on you. So this is why. And I would like to invoke this different kind of narrative now, where we're all joining forces so these kind of things are not happening. So we are not attacking somebody who is telling us that this is happening, and we are not judging them, and we are not projecting to somebody who is telling us that what we just said is just not true. Because if you really feel it with the heart, you would know why somebody reacts to certain things, you know. I have a certain amount of experience and I have a certain amount of knowledge working in this work. And I haven't started doing this videos. Yes, I'm promoting my work because this is what I live on and this is what I love to do, but I actually stopped at this moment wanting to do it because of everything that's been going on. Because I stopped even feeling myself and my own energy in these streams that are directed to me. Some are streams, some are entities, and some are beings from satellite. So yeah. I had a genuine. I mean, I started doing with videos, and I stopped doing them when I stopped feeling, when I just completely feel it's time to stop. I just had this urge to start doing them. I've been pushed and called to do them, so this is why I do them. Not because this is my stage, not because I want to show off, not because this is a show for me, and because of the things that I see that are happening to me and to others and to some people they're very serious, and I have very serious sessions. I kind of sometimes feel called to, when I see that somebody's lying about something, especially like when they're speaking shit about like language, for instance, or about codes, or giving big promises from, I don't know, these kind of sessions, or that when they're saying that they're seeing something, and there's a, you know, there are actually people who do see you. Have you ever considered that when you go lying around? And I usually really do not bother with that. But, you know, they even can take away a light language. They can take away a code. Everything. I mean, that's been going on for thousands of years, for centuries. They just copy it. They just copy it, and then they use it in dark letters, in dark symbolism. It's not, they're not in light or in colors. I mean, yeah, you can, also when you write it in pen or something, it's dark, but it's about intention. So they twist and turn the intention. So they use it for something else. Like, for instance, I'm speaking, I mean, I've had sessions like this, and I've had colleagues, therapists whom I've heard that they had sessions like this with a client who came and didn't know about, they had some health problems and some things that changed for them, and some health problems, and like their facial expressions even changed, something like that. And then in the session they remembered that for this particular person, she had a vacation with a friend who had a spiritual group. It was a woman, and she was putting sunscreen on her back, and while she was doing that, she was writing some symbols, and those symbols would bind her and to her group. And yeah, I can't remember. It's not my client, so I can't remember everything that was going on for this person. But she had problems, and she started having health problems. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if a half of your face drops and you don't look like yourself anymore, or it's asymmetrical and it was symmetrical before, or it's I don't know, all of a sudden you start having problems in one side of your body or something like that. This is, I mean, there are symbolism, and there are symbolism who are not light. They are not copied. They're just symbols who are connecting to certain energy streams and certain beings who are not beings of light. And that's being used in those rituals. And they can use it in your photos. And even people who you think you trust can use it. Sometimes it just happens that we don't know so much about each other as much as we think we do. And even the good symbols, like flower life, like the infinity symbol, like I don't know, the Metatron's cube, or the Merkaba, or other geometric symbols, they can be used in certain purposes. There are also symbols they're ancient symbols, they're good symbols, but when written a little bit differently, with different intention and different ink, black and dark, they mean something else, and they connect you to something else than used in certain rituals. How I know? Because all the things that have been happening to me, and in some dreams and in some meditations, I was removing me, or some higher beings were removing symbols from here, from my solar plexus, from my hands, here and here, and I've been mentioning that, and from my womb, and from other places. And like I say, I have heard colleagues, friends who are doing the same thing, who are from abroad, who had similar sessions with other people. So I'm just saying, be mindful. Just be mindful of who you trust with, because in many of the things, if we don't, even if we see, we can be just tricked a little bit, because we need something. There is a certain need in us. There is a certain thing that something can still be attached there. You can still be manipulated a little bit there. And like I said, it's like a little wound, like a scar in your auric field, or your energy field, or your astral body, and they see it. And they find the way. And the most difficult things are left for the last, and these are not very glorious days for all of us. The energies are good, but they're dismantling all of this, and everything is coming to the surface to be seen and witnessed and released. But if you want to really liberate yourself, stop lying to yourself and stop lying to everybody else, because everything that is not built on proper intentions in the past, it's being shown now. It comes out. So this is why I say, if it's not built on a faith, on genuine faith, on genuine heart, on something sacred, it's going to be shown. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be blown away, because it's up to our choices, and up to what do we do with it. It's about free will. But in this process, you have to understand when it's free will, when you're choosing something with your own free will, not because of you're still unconscious about something, or because you're being manipulated. And the only reason that you can be manipulated is because you are unconscious about something that is deeply inside of you, something that it's possibly hurting you very much. There's something that is still not back in your own, in its own place in you. I don't know, maybe that can be a part of you that you yourself don't particularly like, or you judged it a little bit because somebody told you sometimes in the past that you have to judge it, that it's not good. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's like that. Or maybe it is. It now are different times. You're allowed to choose. You're also allowed to choose to fall for manipulations. But then, you know, if you understand that it's a manipulation, you want to get out, and you're not being allowed to get out, then you really have to find out how did you get trapped? Because at a certain point there was something that was considered a consent, even if it was for the good reasons. Or maybe you didn't even know that was a consent. So trust me, everything you can imagine is real. And that does, in the collective unconscious especially, but it doesn't mean that we have to fall for everything. Yeah, soul lessons are there, but when you begin to understand how manipulative the game is, so that you stay in the game, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that anybody wants to hurt you. It just means that they want you in the game because you keep the game running. Without you, maybe there would be no game. Then it's really time to consider, So I've been told to speak from the heart, and I'm speaking from the heart. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I am disappointed very much because to me, many things that I'm seeing going around are fake. I'm seeing very little of what is not fake, but what else is new? Yeah, maybe just good morning, Columbus, whatever it is that you say. The biggest part that is actually that has actually been very I'm looking for the right word. It's been that's bringing me down, that it's making me feel defeated, is that I think that I'm better seen exactly by the ones that want to take something away from me and manipulate me than the ones who are not, and who are supposed to be, when we're supposed to be on the same side. And we are so easily manipulated because we are not standing together. We are so much in separation, and I'm not talking only separation amongst partners, or soul mates or soul partners or twin flames. I'm talking about in general. The agenda going around is in separation and keeping us submissive and keeping us away, separated from our higher selves and from our inner guidance and from our higher guidance. And I do say higher because they are higher. They are on a different, in a different density, in a different level of development than we are at the moment. And at the moment, I mean, I haven't seen so much judgment anywhere as much as I've seen it in spiritual community. And I don't know why do I keep calling it like that. I mean, what about the heart? Everybody's talking about the heart. But it's like everybody is talking about it and not from it. And not doing things from it, but with different intentions. Most of us are not even aware of those intentions. So how on earth are you going to be making somebody else aware of something when you're not aware or why you do things? I don't say that I'm always aware of why I do things, but I've cried way too many times lately over these things. And I threw up, and I worked with plants. I worked with animal medicine, like with frog medicine. And I mean, it's not purging. I had to. Yeah, somebody can tell me now, oh, they came there because they want to show you where you are. Not true. They came there because they want energy. They want energy to keep running, and they want energy to keep going to where they're headed and to keep it doing what they do. They're not showing me where I am. They want to keep me where I am. And I don't want to be kept there. I want to expand like everybody else. It's like it's everybody's intention. But quite a few of us actually are. Some are doing it naturally and are not even aware of those, dangers, and anything going on around doesn't mean that they're not happening to them. But it doesn't mean that I'm not expanding. It's just like I say, I became aware of these things. I see them and I hear them, and I became aware. And I'm not saying this because I want to show you how high up there I am, because it's my ego telling you. I'm telling you how I know. That's how I know from myself. Nope. And then I check it. I check it with several people, and then I do something about it. And I remove it. And it's like, like when you're cleaning up your hardware. So you remove it, put it in a trash bin, and you keep up picking viruses again, and then you remove it and put it in a trash bin, and it goes on and on and on. So yeah, growth is a spiral process, but like I said, I just feel like too many fake things, too many fake people, too many fake intentions, too many fake hearts. So what about the heart? As much as we talk about the heart, if we all have been doing things from the heart, this wouldn't be happening at all. Sure, ascension is an individual process, and you grow where you need to be. And then there all of a sudden different circumstances for you and different people around who have a little bit more heart, We're all too much in fear lately, thinking too much of what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to look like. That's all mind. It's not the heart, and it's certainly not flowing down the stream. It's not even rowing your boat to, you know, go a little smoother through the rocky waters. It's fighting it. We're all fighting it. We're not allowing it. And this is why everything like it's happening, because so yeah, certain things we can stop if we join forces. Certain things we can, because they have been agreed long time ago. And sometimes the collective that agreed on it is the energy of that collective is a little bit stronger. So you can only rely on your own heart and your own process. But too many of us, I mean, hey, if something's going to happen to you, to me, to whomever tomorrow, how are you going to stop it? If that's what's needed. Sometimes it's not what's needed, but they're certainly going to try. Nothing I've done so far stop them. So that doesn't mean I'm going to stop clearing myself for the sake of myself, for my own health, energetical health, and for the sake of my own clients. But this is also what keeps us running around and going to, I don't know, so many different people who are going to give us the answer and the magical pill for whatever is hurting us. Because the only place we're really afraid to look at is our hearts. Because we don't even know what's in our hearts. And then we can be manipulated like this. And also, I mean, I feel sometimes bummed out because when I see the processes of my clients and they've been around to so many people, and then those with not, so heart intention, with pure heart intentions, they, I don't know, they end up with me or somebody else who can then just clear up things from them because they have just done a little bit more damage to themselves than good. And so this is sometimes why I feel called to say something and do something, but it doesn't really matter, because people are going to do whatever they want to do, whatever they think they're going to do, because humans will be humans. And humans are sometimes little ungrateful children that at the moment I just don't feel like working with. And yeah, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do my sessions, but it means I'm going to be very picky. And that's my cat. She's saying something. Yeah, she just made me change my chain of thoughts for the moment. So it is, I think, what I should have said, but the thing is, what I said the last time, and this is still valid. There are a lot lately is being done on breaking connections and relations, especially pure ones, because if we join forces and stand together, we wouldn't be so manipulated. We wouldn't be so prone to energy attacks and the streamings that are coming from them at the moment for the general population from the satellites. And at the moment, the ones who are being targeted the most are the ones who are not the primes, but like the beacons, or you don't have, they don't even have to be public. They don't even have to be using a channel or something like this, because they're visible on a different plane. And this is, everything is happening from a different plane. So it all starts on that plane, astral plane. There is a plane higher than that, where all these games are being played, like a chess games. It's like a chessboard, like up there. And the idea is to be not even the observer, but to be away from it, to be lifting yourself higher and not be pulled into it. And even the ones who know that, they are being mostly targeted with varieties of things. There is like a big stream, group of higher beings, ascended masters. They're encircling this plane, and it's around the earth, but it's really very high above the earth. They're projecting like this different kind of grid, like solar grids, light grids. They put everything good and pure there. But there is like a fog that we cannot get through, that is disconnecting it, so that we don't feel it as much as we should. A lot of people are connecting. But you have to be mindful who you connect to. You have to be really mindful. It's not the intention, but with the genuinity, the loving intention of the first one, of the one who has ever started that stream, who has created I don't know whether that is a meditation group or a page or whatever. You just have to be mindful of where they connect to. There are too many of those connecting to quantum computers and the beings that are not so good. There's like a link that is directly influencing all of our brains. And what's been happening lately in the past weeks, it's like the grids, like the many programs and implants in brains of many people have been dismantled by their guidance and the light streams, but there are dark streams also. And these implants and these these it's not in your, it's not physically in you, it's something that is around, like around the brain, but it's dark lines that are connecting you to the, many of you, to the satellite links and to the computers, and to blocking connection with the guidance, your spirit guides and your higher selves. And that has been removed for some of you. And if you have been seeing the dark, little narrow pathways, or like little narrow inscription, black inscriptions, or like a small worms can, or like, for instance, I have seen like something fell from my brain from here and somebody swept it, like a bunch of, worms, and somebody swept it with a broomstick. Something like that. It's different for everybody, but it's like, that's, you have to work on the connection, on reconnecting with your souls, with your higher self, with the oversoul, especially your guidance. And you have to work, reconnecting with each other, not acting like little children. That it's not even fear that is moving this. It is pride. Pride that is being pushed at the moment. If you find yourself in a moment where you're thinking, I know better than you, I know better than anybody else, I want to prove you wrong. And if you find yourself at proving somebody wrong is more important than keeping peace and loving connection, then you're wrong. You're not in the right stream. Buttons of your pride have been pushed. There is a stream, like a vibration. Vibration is used as a weapon. It's an ancient weapon. It's not something new. It's just you don't know about it. And the vibration, it's something that you don't even hear, but this vibration is creating disturbances, in your field. It's creating disconnect. It's creating dissipation of the connections between people, of the network that we have naturally, with nature, with everything. Like this web of life that it's being influenced by it, and it creates stress on the organism, on your bodies, and you feel overwhelmed. There is a stream of information that is also coming in, but this is what is making you feel tired, stressed out, and overwhelmed, because it's a weaponry that is used from astral planes, from not in they're in the earth orbit, but you can't see them because they're cloaked. It's an invasion, like a replay of invasion that happened many times be mindful of how you react, because your memories of the times when you have experienced it before can be triggered. But be mindful of those, because you need to know when it is your memory and not the memory that you're being implanted with. You need to really discern with the heart, because you might end up pushing away someone or many who would normally be your allies. And just go into your heart space, and in the garden of your heart, and instead of fighting the downpour of the stream from the galactic core, allow it to be like the water of life, the Divine Mother pouring down on the plants of your garden and nourishing them and making your garden flourish. Allow her to nourish the plants in your garden and restore it instead of fighting her. Allow to return the shine of the pearls in your heart and enter that space. And from that space, go high up, straight to the galactic central sun and beyond. There are many beings holding hands and creating, weaving this tapestry of protection, like a cloak, like a blanket of peace. It's peace that is missing, because all this is stressing out, and it's created to stress out your individual and collective system. Just connect to those beings and hold hands with them and place the hands in the center and weave this cloak, this blanket, pull it down on you, yourself, your surroundings, and your planet, wherever it is needed. Pull that blanket of peace all over. Eshera kotomea kotasa. Tushamateaka senata yatukomayata. Tishera tomayakea. Tinakasena kateako. Isiatu ti inia. Tiako shanaka. Korata kasheana kasitikea. Koshumakata hatia satakanaya tokushiata. Allow the old cycles to leave. And release everything old and everything that is hurting. And for the ones that are spreading too much pain because they're hurting themselves, let them learn now in their own experiences, on their own skin, and walk in the shoes of everything that they have created. It is time for them to experience it on their own. To shiraka makatishitinia kotan. And just pull the blanket of peace all over. Tikena koana sim nikitishia kata samaka. Tiako samakara tishina katanayaka. Tukunoyaka. Sinakata shirakata. Sundakanakatasa. Tishkanaka samayatakata. Tumakateseka. Tukuma. Tuahakata. Tikayasa. Tukonakateasera. Torakasanakatishikata. Tokasteraka maseketea shakata skarata. Tukura soka. Tukura seaka. Shinakateaka sataka. Tinakasatato, do not fight. Just let them walk in your shoes for a while. Let everybody experience a taste of their own medicine. Whatever is not from the heart won't stay. It won't stick. Whatever is not in peace and coming in peace, walking in grace and purity, won't last. You create your own story. If you want to be a divine love story, walk in the sacredness of your being. Follow everything that is holy, everything that is kind, and everything that has grace and mercy Tu skarate ke makate asomayotoko. Tokomayate neasakata. Tiskirate ke meoko nestirato. Shirakata naka. Tirakatumakate asenakate ke temea. Turokosamakata. Tikoshamakata naka. Tikashanakata satakata. Samakata maka. Tikashamakatea. Te asunula toshamaka. Tusumakateaka. Emanate peace and grace. Kenananotiasaka. Anakasumayata. Tunokusirakata samayata. Neako nesakata. If you want things removed from you, you only have to do is ask. Remove. Your higher self can remove all the symbols, all the implants. Just disconnect from everything old, from the old cycles, and connect to the new stream of nourishment, new codes, new light beings, new light beings. The solar code of the Divine Mother that nourishes your soul. And allow her to restore every little plant, every little place, every little corner of your sacred garden. Tiana nakato mariakatesi tekatakas. Don't just flow with the river. And let the river flow through you. Komayati Akoshikanaya. Be that river and be that stream. Let the light beams follow through you. And be that pillar of light that cannot be moved. Tena kamea tia, tina kasana totoshia, komaya satakatia sonaya, antikea kata, antikerasia, iawata, ndeanoyoto akaha, awakashiraka. You're all pillars of light if you want to be. Decide to be one now. If you haven't understood that love is the only reason, that love is the only purpose, that love is the only meaning by now, things might become a little bit rocky for you. Stand in grace. An immovable pillar of light. And whatever you do, whatever happens around you, don't be the storm, don't be the hurricane. Just unmovable, unpenetrable pillar of light and grace and peace. Put the blanket all around you of peace. Be prince and princesses, kings and queens of peace. Each and every one of you, for that is what is needed now. Mekenatia kamayatea keaka. Tumakeaka hakakano. Donno yoto sukatara kasiti kitekeako. Neketeke matishike. Tumaya toshimakete rata sidakamatia. It is time to belong to the family of light. Be the divine love story you are. In the stream, in being the stream, in being the river, in being the pillar, you are safe. It is time for this place to feel safe everywhere again. The only safe place that is going to take you there is being the stream, not the boat, not the rower, not the swimmer, the stream, the river. The identity that you will find at the end of the stream is who you really are and who you've always been. Tumayati sikiti, tukumayase. Anakasiti kitunoyo toshkatitikina. Teakash. It is done. It is. So I just the energy stream was not so strong as the last time, but I hope you gained something from it. And at the last time I was burning after the transmission, I needed half an hour to come down. I was feeling literally as if my skin was, I was hot, too hot. It was gentler, much gentler. But I guess that's what was needed now, and there are also messages for me in here too, so it's also what I needed. So I can only release through myself what I need to. So when you finish, just come gently right back in your heart space, in your garden, and from your garden back to your body, and just close the doors behind you. And just for the record, for some people that will be seeing this, I didn't agree on anything. I didn't accept anything. I didn't sell anything, and I didn't, and I won't, and I will most certainly not be anybody's programmer, no matter what, as I wouldn't be ranting around here saying that I'm missing sacredness. I'm missing sacredness everywhere, not just here, not just in some communities, not just in spiritual communities. I'm missing sacredness in everywhere because some things have become way too profane. And I think this is why way too many of us are seeking refuge in the ancient ways. Because some of these, what I've been mentioning, that have been helping me, that I've been doing, are sacred ways, ancient ways. But sacred ways, I didn't make a mistake. Let me just think about it. Not everything comes with sacred intentions. That's basically what I'm saying here. And just be mindful of the receiving end, because what I've been discovered is in some of these groups, especially in the foreign groups, that the ones who are at the very end, the receiving end, are the ones that we're actually trying to avoid. And some of them, the ones who are leading these groups, don't even know it. It's like, for instance, I've been told that for the energetic synthesis, and I don't know how much this is true, so I'm not trying to trash down anybody, because I might be wrong, because I've heard it from somebody else, some people who had experiences with it, that it's the Rockefellers are founders of this. So you've done too many of meditations of those, and you all of a sudden found being gang stalked or something happening to you. Just you might try to disconnect and clear. And yeah, some of them are secret space programs that are at the receiving end, and they don't even know it. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. Check. Like I've checked, and like I said, it's all about the intentions and the energy. Some of these groups are existing only to be energy funnels, sadly. And we don't want to be one of those, don't we? So this is why I've been mentioning to my little helper. This is why I've been mentioning the sacredness. I had different kind of issues, not, but I just needed to mention this because I just remembered it, and it felt a little bit important, not just for the sake of some people that might be watching this. Thank you for your patience, for your attention, and interest, for whatever that may be. Because even if you are watching with different kind of intent, trust me, you're still a fan. And I hope you do learn something. And I hope you get a proper teacher of love. Because this is what it's all about. And this is all what I've been trying to convey here. This is what I've been directed and used to convey here. And I'm really honored because of that. Because in a way, you're allowing me to be your teacher too. You just don't understand it. And I'm sorry you have been so hurt somewhere in your lifetime, possibly all throughout it, so that you have decided to give up on everything that is sacred within you. And I hope that you get to learn through your own experiences of how that needs to be cherished and fought for and taken care of, so that you feel so deeply in your heart that you have to fight for it with your tooth and nails and to get it back. This is the lesson that you have been presenting to me, and I'm cherishing my divine channel and my divine love story that much that I'd rather not be than allow you to take it anymore, anything away from me, because it's my sacred energy and my sacred stream. And you're more than welcome to open one of your own in a right way, learning on your own skin from yourself. I can't say I love you, and I can't say I appreciate it. But as long as this is allowed to be happening, that means I decided, I accepted to teach you, to be taught by you, to teach myself and everybody else. But you have chosen me as your teacher by connecting to my energy without my permission. So then learn. Walk a mile in my own shoes. See that they fit. And don't be angry with me if they don't. And I bow deeply to you in reverence because of all of the pain that you decided you don't want to feel and you want to inflict. I bow deeply in reverence to it. Because you will feel it. There is no way around it. And you already are feeling it. This is why you're so disconnected from you, so that you have to be connected to somebody else. And for the ones that are so disconnected from themselves, how can you connect anybody else to their own true self if you are so disconnected from you? Feel your own pain, cry your own tears. There's no way around it. This is how love works through you. I thank you for your attention. You have been the most patient student. For the wrong reasons, but still the patient student. So learn.